Hi, welcome to Family Sense. Family Sense is dedicated to equipping every man, every woman, every husband, every wife with practical wisdom on family and marriage, especially in these toughest times. This is a production of No Regrets Communication, a division of Hope Education Network. Should you have any questions or need any information, please feel free to contact us on 0772 518 554. You can also contact us on 0754 734 738. You can also email us on noregrets@counselor.com. Right now, join in for insights from today's session. God bless you.
You don't get used to people. What does it mean getting used to people in Uganda? What is it? You don't kumanyira people. I don't kumanyira anybody. Even when I serve very well, I say, yes, my boss. I still call one person who ever employed me. I still call him my master. Yes, my master. And I mean it. All together. So we need to learn some manners here. And just because somebody has given you business to do, if you are CEO, somebody, even when a customer comes to your business and you think you are doing him a favor, no way. Keep doing. If you are an employer and you are having a customer, without that customer, your business is empty. He is the one who employs you. Don't think you are not an employee. They will not employ your company to do what? To serve them. To give them what they need. How together? Pastor Sandy, you mishandle congregates. They will find other churches. They say, I don't understand that, Pastor. But they will not say bye to you. They will not say bye to you. They will just walk out to some other place. These things work whether you are in the church or outside of work. It is a universal what? Principles of the Almighty. They work everywhere. Even if you are a party chairman and you mishandle people, they change it to go and form FDC. And if you are in FDC, you mishandle them, they go and form Uganda Federal Alliance. Right? You understand? And then they will find themselves in NRM. Because they have mishandled differently. You know, that where should I apply it then? Okay. If I mishandle Mrs. Mwesigwa, she has an option to walk out. Hello? Am I talking in Mwesigwa Enterprise? If I mishandle Mrs. Mwesigwa, she can walk out. But I have to honor her and respect her. Hey. Oh, man. It's hard work, It's hard work. Yeah, and then sometimes, again, I have to be a dictator. You understand? And please, leadership is dictatorship. Whether you look at it this way or that way, that's another business someday. Yes. No option. If you're going to lead, you're going to say, Mrs. Mwesugwa, this is the direction we are taking. This is where should we go? Mrs. Mwesugwa, should we go or not? What do we do? Where are we going to end? Where are we going to end? We are going to rotate around and around and around. There is a time when you say, please, this is where we are going and we must get there. And I'm not taking them there because that's what I want, but because that is where we should do. Now when we go there, people begin to appreciate it along the way. That is leadership. You need some backbones, guys. That's another. Deploying what? Okay. So, train some. Please, combine. We've been told that. And we've been told, please, do what? Seek for what? Counsel. And make sure you filter the what? The counsel. Because there is too much unwise counsel. There is too much unwise advice moving around. You had better be careful with it. I heard this. So and so said, okay. If regardless of who has said it, walking in the standard of God actually should wisen you up. You should be much wiser than any other being. Because the fear of God, that is what? Wisdom. You choosing to walk by the way of God doesn't make you stupid. It makes you wiser instead. And I will show you the wise men. The men who were called to be of great character. Can you look at Acts chapter 17 verse 11? You know here, if I come here and I change my color and I change my hairstyle and now my color is no longer black, then I look like a white man. Believe me, people who are here might even change their attitudes towards these things. They will say, Johnny Adams said. And they will honor and respect it because he's Muzungu. Eh? And you know how we despise one another. If you despise yourself, for me, I don't despise myself. I know what God meant me to be. And that you had better not despise yourself. What does Acts 17:11 say? We are navigating for you to see something here. Look at verse 10. Acts 17 verse 10 and 11. Acts is the fourth book in the Old Testament. You can find it in case you... Have you seen it? Okay. It says, as soon as it was night, the brothers sent Paul and Silas away to Berea. On arriving there, they went to the Jewish synagogue. Now, the Bereans were of more noble character than the Thessalonians, for they received the message with great what? Eagerness. So you receive a message with great eagerness. Even as you are here, even as we speak, you might receive this message with great eagerness, but it doesn't end there. Because I am not here for anyone to be excited about this. In fact, if I can speak hard enough so that you get annoyed with me, that would even be better. Because I know it will get to your spirit. Altogether. They received the message with great eagerness and examined the scriptures every day to see if what Paul said was true. And if Paul, who wrote almost 13 books of the Bible, was present here today, everyone will just take as they... the man said, the man of God said, Gandhi double check. It doesn't matter who it is. Even Bishop Mwesugwa. When Bishop Mwesugwa says, please go and check. You've understood? Even these things we are talking about, go back, examine them for yourself. Make sure it is either the truth. I might even be telling you lies. You are entitled to doing what? Double checking what I'm talking about. In fact, it's the very reason why I even show you where we are getting it from. So that you yourself may not be bound to Mwesugwa, but be bound to his word and the working of his spirit. Not myself. Yes? So, give careful what? Filtration to every counsel you receive. Another thing, as we look at deploying people, first, please, maintain God at the center. Maintain who? God at the center of this matter. And how do you maintain it? The first and most important, maintain God is the standard of managing what? People. Please, I don't speak of any other standard. I have been exposed enough to human resources standard of what? Which is so common around here. This is how human resources is managed. This is how human resources is managed. This is which is not bad. Which is not bad. It's okay. But if you check it only turns a person into a machine and removes the personhood out of him. And that's not God's standard. God is first of all interested in the person, then what he does. Altogether. Now, many times we are interested in what? Using each other. You know what that means? Employers use employees. Altogether. As soon as they have drunk enough out of them, they dump them, find another employee. Hello? Is that happening around us? Oh! And then what happens? Employees use their employers. No, I need some more money. Salary increment. You see how Mr. Museveni is being twisted with salary increments. Oh, yo. Are we together? Committing the nation actually into more borrowing. And why? We borrow more, pressure of more taxes to pay up more borrowing. Now, where is it going to end, you think? It is, what did the Kasaija said the other time? No money. So where are you going to get the money to increase? But we are not dealing with the real things we must deal with. And these things we are dealing with are actually the solutions. How together? So now what happens? If employee, I use the employer, more salary, the moment I get enough, I run away from the employer and do my own things. So who is using the other? So employees are using the what? The employer. Employer is using the what? Where are they going to end? You get to understand this. So respect for one another is extremely important. And God's standard is clear. Can we read Mathew 23, verse 23, so that we see it? And you know, the Lord's word is so plain. He speaks in small bits like this. It's you and me who are meant to decode what he has said. And Matthew 23, verse 23, what does he say? Woe unto you, teachers of the law and the Pharisees, you hypocrites, you give a tenth of your spices, mint, dill, cumin, but you have neglected the more important matters of the law. And what are those most important matters of the law? Number 1, justice. Number 2, mercy. Number 3, faithfulness. That is the standard. That is the standard of God's word. That is the standard of managing people God's way. Justice, mercy, and what? Faithfulness. And actually, if you look at this entire scripture all through, from Genesis to Revelation, it boils down to those 3. All together. That's where we are. Justice, mercy, and what? Faithfulness. I will tell you the standard of justice. I will take you to the least expected place. Genesis chapter 22. Let us read that story together so that we may see. Genesis chapter 22, we are reading from verse 1 up to wherever.
Remember that you are engaged in a family sense gathering, which is dedicated to equipping every man, every woman, every husband, every wife with practical wisdom on family and marriage. I hope you're enjoying yourself.
Genesis chapter 22, we are reading from verse 1 up to wherever. It says, sometime later, God tasted Abraham He said to him, Abraham, here I am, he replied. So we are having a dialogue of some people here. Then God said, take your son. Take who? What is added there? Your only son. Which son? Isaac. And what is added? Whom you do what? You love so much. And what should you do with him? Go to the region of Moriah. What are you going to do there? Sacrifice him there as a burnt offering on one of the mountains I will tell you about. Take who? Your son. And not just any son. Your only son. And not just your only son. Whom you love so much. Sacrifice him. That is the instruction. Now make your choice. Early the next morning, Abraham got up and saddled his donkey. To do what? He took with him 2 of his servants and his son who? Isaac. The one whom he had only, the dear one, when he had cut enough wood for the burnt offering. What was meant to be the burnt offering? He set out for the place God had told him about. Okay? On the 3rd day, Abraham looked up and saw the place in a distance. He said, okay. You mean he even had to apply too much effort to go and do it? This is not a journey of weaklings. If it was just easy, do it easy, what would happen? Anybody can do any easy thing. When things are easy, anybody can do. But these are tough things. First, only son. Secondly, what? One you love. Thirdly, you must walk for a journey in order for you to sacrifice him. How many of us would walk 3 days to go and do that very hard thing? We like it convenience. The world has pasted us with convenience that anything hard we run away. That's not God's choice. That's not God's desire for me. On the 3rd day, Abraham looked up and saw the place in the distance. He said to his servants, you guys, you were helpful. You were what? Helpful this far. But now you are going to be a liability in my mission. So what do? Stay here. He knows when to trim. He knows when to do what? When to trim liabilities. You will become a disruption to me on this matter. Hold your peace, stay here. That is your boundary. But you have been very helpful. Thank you, guys. Thank you for helping. You know, you've been a very good companion up to this far. But further than this, you can't manage. Have you heard? Mm-hmm. Next. Stay here with the donkey while I and the boy go over there. We will worship and then we will come back. By the way, did he tell Mrs. Abraham about that one? Uh-oh. Mrs. Mwese, but there are things I haven't told you. Because you understand, eh? Yeah, there are things that I will keep for very serious reasons. Because you can become an interruption. Hello? Are you getting the wisdom behind here? Okay, let's continue. Abraham took the wood for the burnt offering. What was the burnt offering? And he placed it on who? So he got the wood and he put it on the what? On the burnt offering. You understand? This guy who is going to be sacrificed is the very one who is carrying his burdens. You understand? Are you seeing the message there? These things are depth, but they mean something very serious. Anyway, and he himself carried the fire and the knife. CEO, you understand? As the two of them went on together, the sacrifice spoke up and said, Father. Yes, son. Abraham replied, the fire and the wood I see. But where is the lamb? You see, even people will see things in their own perspective. But this CEO knows exactly what the sacrifice is, knows exactly and how to deal with it. Abraham answered, let me tell you, God himself will provide the what? For the burnt offering, my son. And the two of them went on together. You have to have the wisdom and prudence to manage very hard things and very hard questions and remain on track. Pastor Warden, I know you understand what I'm talking about here. It can be tough. You see, you are talking about the blessings of Abraham. You are joking. Are you ready to take such decisions? You just want to take the blessings. You have to understand the process. Continue. When they reached the place God had told him about, Abraham built the altar there and arranged the wood on it. You see, my son, this is how we arrange the wood for what? Sacrifices. You see, I place this one here like this. I place this one here like this. And then I make it up to this width. And then this length. I make the length exactly. You see, it should be 5 feet. You understand? It should be what? 5 feet long and then 3 feet wide. You see, you understand? That is how you arrange it, okay? And now you see, you put the fire there. You see the fire is there, you see, my son. Now, when you arrange it like that, you see, then, if you are going to do it very well, let me show you, by the way, how a lamb is what? Is sacrificed. Now, you get on here. I demonstrate for you. I do what? I demonstrate for you. And by the way, the lamb can easily do what? Run away. Okay? So what do? You tie it. Let me show you how a lamb is tied. What is he doing? He's tying the what? So that the sacrifice doesn't. Imagine. A 125-year-old man and a 25-year-old man, who would beat the other in strength? He was 25 at that time. And the other one was 125. Who is stronger than the other? How do you think Abraham put that sacrifice on there? The young man just says, okay, Daddy, I'm going to lie down like you have said. This is God told you. Is that so? You are joking. You have to have you have to be wise in dealing with very hard matters. You want the blessings of Abraham? These are not for such botes, man. You have to be very wise in dealing with very hard matters. Obeying God is not just foolish. It requires also God's what? Wisdom. I hope you are picking the wisdom. And so, then, he bound his son Isaac and laid him on the altar on top of the what? The wood. How do you think he did it? He just told him, come and lie down here with his strength and power. This one of strength of the body. Hapana. Then what happens? Then he reached out his hand and took the knife to slay his what? Son. Would you do that you yourself? He says, Pastor. Obedience to God. You must always obey God and walk in his ways. He just told him, go and sacrifice him. He left him the decision. And how many times do we fail to make those decisions? Very hard decisions. Obedience. You thought obedience is easy? Obedience is sacrificial. It's not comfortable. Maintaining God's standard is not easy. I'm being real to you. And what happens? He reached out his knife, his hand, and took the knife to slay his son. But the angel of the Lord called unto him from heaven, Abraham, Abraham. Here I am, he replied. Do not lay a hand on the boy. That was God's timing. He saw at a time when he had reached no point of return. He had resolved, I will obey who? God, regardless of what it takes. Have you got there? I will obey who? God, regardless of what it takes. That is now big sacrifice. No point of return. Then the angel, I don't know how it worked. Maybe God even held his hand up. Don't lay what? How do you say? Do not do anything to him. Now I know that you do what? Fear God. Because you have not withheld from me your son, your only son. He's aware. He's the only son. He's the one whom he loves. He's the one whom he desires. You desire very good things. Who tells you God doesn't desire those very good things? For yourself? How about for the Lord? Think about it. As we get into the evening of today, Abraham looked up, and there in the thicket, he saw a ram caught by its horns. He went over and took the ram, and he sacrificed it as a burnt offering instead of his son. That was the fair exchange from the Almighty God, who can place any provision where you are, at any place, and say, please, do this. That means you are letting go. That means you are sacrificing. You will do nothing if it contradicts the will of God. In as far as it is about the Lord, he would not compromise. Hello? Big sacrifices. So Abraham called that place, the Lord will do what? Provide. And to this day, it is said, on the mountain of the Lord, it will be what? Provided. Verse 15. The angel of the Lord called to Abraham from the heavens a second time and said, I swear by myself. Who else would he swear by? It has gone to the ultimate. To he himself, the Almighty. He says, I swear by who? By myself. My word is just enough, declares the Lord, that because you have done this and have not withheld your son, your only son, whom you love so much, I will surely bless you and make you your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky and as the sand on the seashore. Your descendants will take possession of cities of their enemies, and through your offspring, all the nations on the earth will be what? Blessed, because you have obeyed me. Then Abraham returned to his servants, and they set off together for Beersheba, and Abraham stayed in Beersheba. And he came back and told his wife, Mrs. Abraham, what he had gone to do after he had gone to do it. He told him when it ministers. Hello? That is a standard. Now, if Isaac screwed up and was mixing up with certain funny things, what would Abraham do, you think? Would he compromise? Obeying God is tough, but that's the standard. And let me tell you, in doing that, I believe very strongly. What if he had his son, Isaac, assuming Isaac was working in the URA, okay? And Isaac has worked there 2 months. Now he goes back to his father Abraham and he says, Daddy, I have made money. Now I want to build you a house in 2 months. What do you think Abraham would do? Would he, hey, son, hey, thank you. Hey, man, you are wise. You are wise, eh? yeah, that is the plot where you should build the house for me. Is that what Abraham think he would do? What do you think he would do? How did you get this money, son? 2 months. Oh, so you mean your salary is equivalent to something like 4 houses? You also have the other pregnant house, daughter-in-law of mine. You have life cares to take care of. How did you get this money? How many parents ask that question? Hey, son, yeah. Hey, son, thank you. Hey, educating is good. 2 months? Hello? How do you expect to fight corruption? By building bigger prisons? Or building more courts and employing more judges because there are many cases of corruption. So there are backlogs of cases. Why are backlogs of cases? Broken family. Hello? You think problems of Uganda will be solved by elsewhere? Get back to the truth. That's the basic truth. How together?
Family Sense is on a mission of teaching God's truth for reforming marriages and building families throughout the nation. Stability of our nation can only be realized with well-founded families and marriages. We therefore invite you to engage in Family Sense gatherings. Should you have any questions or need specific assistance, please feel free to contact us on 0772 518 554 or 0754 73 4738. You can also email us on noregrets@counselor.com. God bless you. We look forward to seeing you next time.